Hi everyone and welcome to Creative Cakes by Sharon. Today I'm excited to be showing you how I created this inside surprise cake of this cute little alien named O from the new Dreamworks movie Home. This cake is another one of my double-sided cakes and it features the purple happy O as well as the worried, scared and sometimes even mad O. You guys are super lucky today because this video is part of a collaboration I've done with my lovely friend Laurie from the Icing Artist, and she's created this adorable, much larger, party-going version of O. Laurie is also another amazing cake artist, so make sure you head over to her channel and check out some of her work. I'm going to leave a link to Laurie's channel at the end of my video. So for now, let's get started with my double-sided inside surprise O cake. So today I'll be using a few different things and they're all on the screen now. I'm going to leave a detailed list in the description box below of all the equipment and materials I've used. The first thing I need to do is take one of these cake pillars. You can pick these up at local cake or craft supplies, and I'm going to use a hot glue gun to glue this to the center of my cake board and then glue my cake setup board onto the top of my cake pillar. This is going to provide all the stability I need for my little O. Now here are my two 5-inch round cakes, and when I was preparing the batter for these I coloured one with some purple food colouring and the other with some orange food colouring. And all I want to do is cut them both into 3. And then using my round cookie cutter, I'm going to cut out the centre of 4 of the cakes, preferably the bottom 2 sections of each cake. So starting off with a little bit of buttercream frosting on my cake setup board, I'm going to start layering up my cake, alternating between a purple layer, then an orange layer, and of course filling in some buttercream frosting between each of the layers. Here I've got this gorgeous colourful candy which I'm going to fill the centre of my cakes with. In the movie, O gets his name from his friends for perhaps being in a little bit of trouble and everybody always saying "Oh," but I thought it might be fun and exciting if when you cut into this cake you were surprised by all the bright coloured candy and said "Oh" for a good reason. To close the top of the cake off, I'm just going to add another layer of buttercream frosting and pop one of the lids back on. You could use the purple or the orange one, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to use the purple one today. Now I can start carving my O, and O has a very distinct head shape. So using my serrated knife to start with, I'm going to make a nice big cut to the top of the cake, taking off the dome, and I'm going to try and create a very nice smooth indentation across the center of the cake, trying to create 2 mounds on either side. Using one of the little round pieces of cake I initially cut out, I'm going to divide it in 2 so it's a little bit narrower, and these are going to form the base of O's ears or his little curly horns on the sides of his head. His body is also tapered downwards, so I'm just going to shave the slightest amount of cake, angling my knife a little bit in so that the top of his body is a little bit wider than the bottom of his body. And the last little bit of carving I have to do is for his eyes, and I want to cut out 2 small holes for his eyes on either side of the cake, and this is so that once I put the fondant on I can actually press his eyes into the cake rather than having them protrude too much. Now that all the carving is done, I can finally start covering my little O with some chocolate ganache. The first coat is going to be a crumb coat to catch all of the crumbs because we did do a little bit of carving. I'm also going to use a little bit of ganache to glue on the little round pieces of cake, and then of course cover them both with ganache as well. Once the entire cake is covered with the chocolate ganache, it can go and sit in the fridge for about 5 minutes. I've taken my cake out of the fridge and already it's firm to the touch, and now I want to use my chocolate ganache just to build up a few little areas of O. in particular his nose region and just in between the eyes, as well as building up a little bit of width on either side of the body, just under the ears. Once I'm happy with the shape that I've got, I'm going to put it back in the fridge again for another 5 minutes. Again, O has come out of the fridge for the second time, and this time I'm going to do a final smoothing over his chocolate ganache layer. And I've got this little piece of cardboard here, and I've just cut this out from a cake box so you know it's food safe. And using something like this is perfect for smoothing around odd shapes because you can contour it in your hand to fit the shape of the cake. So I'm going to keep smoothing out my O, adding a little bit of chocolate ganache wherever it needs until my O is nice and even and smooth. Now I can finally start covering my little O in fondant, and I'm going to start with the purple side. And before I cover his face with the fondant, what I'm going to do is roll 2 logs of fondant and stick it over the top of each eye socket. This is going to help define the eye area and the ridge above his eye. It's kind of like an eyebrow or an eyelid, and it will also help to emphasize his eye when we finally come around to do it. So all I'm going to do is wet the chocolate ganache a little bit and stick the fondant over the top. Now that I've rolled out my purple fondant, I'm just going to moisten the cake a little bit, just making sure that I cover only the front half of the cake. And then carefully place the fondant onto the cake, smoothing down the fondant, making sure that I rub the fondant nicely into all of the grooves. And gently pressing the fondant into the eye sockets, being very careful not to poke a hole in the fondant, and then trimming off all the excess. While the fondant is still nice and soft, I'm going to use this wooden modelling tool to create an impression of O's little mouth. It's going to be a somewhat of a smiley mouth, and I'm going to part his top and bottom lip just a little bit so that I can stick a little piece of white fondant in there for his teeth. His eyes are just 2 round balls of white fondant, which I'm going to adhere in the eye sockets using a little bit of water. And again, I'm going to use my wooden modelling tool to create a few indentations under and above his eyes to create a little bit more expression. I've turned my little O cake around so that I can work on the orange side, and as with the purple side, again I'm going to roll some nice thick logs of the orange fondant, and this is going to get stuck onto the ganache to create his eyebrows. This time I'm going to shape them so that it gives O a bit more of a perplexed, worried look. Then once again I'm going to do exactly the same as I did for the purple side and cover O's face. And this time we're going to turn that smile upside down into a frown. O's legs are very simple to make. I need 3 orange and 3 purple legs, and I'm going to roll each of them into a nice thick sausage, inserting my skewers through the centre and just propping it underneath O's body. I made O's jacket using 2 pieces of blue fondant, covering one side at a time, and it was just a matter of sticking on a nice rectangle piece of blue fondant and then repeating the same process for the other side. Using my fondant extruder, I squeezed out a nice long tube of pink fondant, which became the trim for O's jacket, followed by a nice big pink oval button. I decided to create purple arms for O, and to do that I rolled out 2 sausages of purple fondant, tapering it in where the wrists would be, and cut 4 fingers into the fondant, and again going around the armholes with some pink fondant trim. Now we're almost finished, oh, but we can't forget the little twirly horns on the sides of his head, and these were actually fairly simple and fun to make. I just rolled 2 coils of purple fondant and orange fondant, then lined them up together, cut each down the centre, and joined up a purple and an orange half, and stuck it on the side of his head. And finally I'm adding the blues to his eyes as well as pupils and little white dots for reflections. Now that my little double-sided O is complete, I have to cut into him and reveal his oh so colourful surprise inside. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this fun tutorial. If you did, don't forget to let me know by giving it a like. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you can see all my double-sided cakes, inside surprise cakes, character cakes, fun desserts and much more each week as I release them. Now guys, don't forget to head over to Laurie's channel and check out her terrific O birthday cake. The link is on screen now and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Guys, I love hearing from you all, so drop me a line in the comment section below or connect with me on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram or Twitter. It's so much fun to read all of your thoughts and suggestions each time I create a new video for you. I hope you all tune in next time, and as always, thanks for watching.